Inclusive green growth gives us an opportunity to deliver on the development objectives of the Sustainable Development Goals, the emissions objectives of Paris, and we're going to have to do it using the Addis principles of getting from billions to trillions. If we look, for example, at renewable energy, that will allow us to provide access to the 1.1 billion people that do not have access to energy, will allow us to do that at a much lower level of emissions. But in order to do that, we're going to have to crowd in significant amounts of private sector financing combined with public sector financing in order to deliver on this objective. Developing countries are much more exposed to climate change than developed countries, so they have to build in adaptation into their development plans. In addition, in developing countries, most of the infrastructure that will be needed by 2040 or 2050 still needs to be built. And therefore, it's important that it be built now, taking into account sustainability and other green principles. It's also known that it's cheaper to do it now than to clean up later. Finally, it'll be very important for developing countries to implement green principles now in order to help them meet the commitments under Paris, but also to do it in a way that builds confidence in order to move forward quickly. Public sector financing is never going to be enough, and so therefore we're going to need private sector financing to combine with public sector financing in order to move forward. In order to include and to crowd in that private sector financing, we're going to have to design risk mitigation mechanisms in order to allow the private sector to come in. But there are also going to be cases where we're going to need concessional international financing to sweeten the deal to make that happen. And this will have to be blended or combined in innovative ways in order to move this forward.